Welcome, Legal Geeks. Welcome to a very special workshop where we think we should tackle the really hard challenges, the mission impossible of legal innovation, of legal adoption, of legal rollout. So how to really deal with innovation in this crazy world. And we thought that the really tough challenges, you've all experienced them in your everyday work. So we thought we'd do this together. You bring us your hardest challenges. You tell us what troubles you the most. And then we're going to solve it together with some expert agents from around the world who have been involved in these kind of projects. So you get expert advice from the trenches. My name is Michael. I'm one of the founders and the CEO of BRYTER, and I really enjoy to do this session with you today. So let's kick this off today and jump right into this. So we start with a quick session on adoption of technology in your organization. So what is your biggest challenge in adopting technology? Is it the slow adoption of individual lawyers? Is it the lack of incentives for adoption? Or is it to identify valid business use cases? Or is it number 4, scalable project management?
Michael, you should be able to see the results there.
Interesting. So you have all picked your solution already. You have to click this away. Yeah. Do this. Yeah. Nice. So we have the solution here on screen, and we have heard what your most important challenge is. This is really nice. Thank you very much for voting. So we jump into the second question. So here you have to pick an area that you find really interesting. So the area you might find most interesting is something related to your business or to your challenges. Is it 1, you only click twice, which is why no-code is great for legal? Or, Jimmy, can you please give us a second again to vote? Is it 2, license to bill? Is it how to turn services into products? Or is it how to deliver digitally using software, which is the word is not enough? Is it something around how Deloitte leverages low-tech on Her Majesty's self-service? Or is it Quantum of Simmons, Tales from Big Law Adoption and the World of Big Law and Legal Innovation? Or is it examples of new law apps? So you can choose now. You see the poll is going on, and I am waiting for your answers. Nice. Interesting. So we have a clear winner here in this poll, and I'm going to present you the solution that you picked yourself, which is going to be a expert interview featuring Laura Bygrave.
Complex missions need powerful tools. For this mission, I recommend the no-code toolset. It is the very latest in technology and has some major advantages which I think you will really love. First, it's really easy to use. It's well designed so you can handle the software easily. It's intuitive. You don't need to be a programmer to use it. It is great for cross-functional teams that need to collaborate. But the main thing is that it's mega powerful, like knock your socks off powerful. You can model complex reasoning and sophisticated rules. The document generation engine lets you build all the documents you need. And it integrates into all the applications you use, like iManage, HiQ, and Kira. It is the best tool for the job. And that's why I'm recommending that you use it for your mission.
Hey Legal Geek viewers, I'm delighted to be joined today by the one and only Laura Bygrave, Innovation Lead at Deloitte Legal. Laura, it's great to have you with us. Laura, in your role at Deloitte Legal, what is your mission regarding the implementation of technology?
Hi Sam, hi Legal Geek, really excited to be here. So in terms of my mission around legal technology, it's actually threefold. So the first is using technology to drive efficiency and enable an optimal legal service to our clients. The second is technology consulting to clients to enable them to optimize their legal function. And then the third piece is co-creation of digital legal solutions with our clients. And that's to enable the provision of technology-based legal solutions. Across all three sits data analytics, enabling our lawyers and clients to make better informed legal decisions. And then all of these are supported by the Deloitte Legal Ventures program, which I founded about a year ago.
What kind of challenges are you facing implementing technology?
That's a really good question. And I think in previous roles, so before I was at Deloitte Legal, I was at Taylor Wessing and EY before that. And I really noticed that low adoption rates of products were probably not, there was low adoption rate of technology products because people weren't properly measuring what success looked like for that product or use case. And I think that's because lawyers often work in isolation. They aren't tech experts, nor should they be. And I think the other main problem that is faced is long lead times to be able to solve the problem. And then by the time the problem's been solved using tech, it's sort of lost the market impact or value due to that time being elapsed. In my role at Deloitte Legal, we've tried to combat this. So the Deloitte Legal strategy is around bringing together a multidisciplinary approach. So not leaving lawyers in isolation, but bringing together consultants, tech experts, digital experts, so that we can create new solutions to legal problems in tandem. And then from identifying that need to try and accelerate the onboarding, uptake and usage of tech, we founded Deloitte Legal Ventures to try and create that transparency in the buying process and introducing really clear metrics around measuring success. So 3 key things that we always look at, and you've probably heard me say this 1,000 times, but as part of our mission, we have to test the hypothesis. Is there demand? There's the desirability. Can we do it? That is it feasible? And then the viability, is it actually worth solving that challenge or not?
What do you think BRYTER's Noco technology has done to help you at Deloitte Legal, and how do you think it's helped you face those challenges?
Working with BRYTER has been fantastic. Let me just start there. And how the tech has helped us in a variety of ways. So particularly in response to COVID, BRYTER was actually the tool that we selected to be able to respond. People, clients and people that weren't clients at that point would be struggling around liquidity within their business. So they would need to repatriate cash across different jurisdictions. We thought it might be an issue, but we needed to test it somehow. So what we did with BRYTER is in a matter of weeks, we built the prototype and put it out to thousands of users. So we just put it out there for free and said, tell us whether this is something that you care about. Is it an issue? Here's 20 jurisdictions that we think you might be interested in repatriating cash to, and here's some of the tax and legal obligations if you do want to do that, and try and get feedback as to whether that product would be something of interest to people more broadly. We got feedback from people that weren't clients, people that had never heard of Deloitte Legal, who were really interested in scaling it up, paying for it as a subscription service, seeing different jurisdictions. And I think the ability of no-code tech really allowed us to get it out to market quickly and respond before most of our competitors could.
It puts a smile on our faces as well if I see that really working the way you wanted it to. Is there any advice that you can give our viewers on getting the most out of Noco technology specifically?
I think that's a really good question, because we went through a learning curve. So Deloitte Legal is still in its infancy. We're still essentially a startup within the huge behemoth of Deloitte. So this was the first no-code technology that we'd used externally. So I think the key lessons that we learned is just be really clear as to the problem that you're trying to solve using the technology, and also the value of actually solving that problem. So when we were looking at the COVID use cases, we tried to quantify them both technically, how quickly we could do it using BRYTER, and then also commercially, because whilst the cash repatriation use case was really interesting to clients, to public and people across the globe, we looked at a couple of others, and I'll give you an example of one. So we looked at the coronavirus job retention scheme from an employment law perspective and tried to put the guidelines into a BRYTER product so that people could understand it without necessarily needing to understand legal rules. And what we learned there is, whilst the product was great, it very quickly went out of date because the guidance was changing so frequently. So we had use cases at different ends of the spectrum, one more successful than the other, and we learned through that. So I think in terms of advice that I'd give to anyone that's thinking about no-code technology, firstly, size the opportunity. Like, how many clients do you know that are experiencing that problem? what's the maximum that those clients would be willing to pay to solve this problem, because there's a lot of problems in the world. If it's not high up on the list and other problems take priority, then you probably need to focus on those ones, because your time is better spent there. And also really quantify not just if it's a problem, how frequently that problem occurs, because is someone losing 30 minutes a day because something's not efficient, or is it sort of once a year that they might use this? Again, volume works really well with no-code technology because you want people to use it repeatedly. And then from a technical perspective, because it's no code, you can apply this very quickly, but you probably then need to think about how you're going to expand it. So when we did cash repatriation, we did 20 jurisdictions to get the reaction and then get the feedback before incorporating some of those more complex features for a paid service, different integrations, etc. So my advice would be start small and build up. Once you've got interest from the market, it's very easy to add features. You don't need to get the most exciting and perfect version out to market. You just want to test that hypothesis as quickly as you can.
It's really, really helpful. And finally, I guess in one sentence, if we can sum this up in one sentence, why do you think BRYTER's no code is a must have in your technology stack?
It might be a long sentence. So I think for me, BRYTER really provides leverage to solve problems quickly. It enables you to seize opportunities without delay and utilize a broader range of talent within your teams to solve those problems. So it doesn't just have to be a development team that you're employing to build things. A variety of people, from your lawyers to your ops to your process experts, can very quickly use the tool and try these things out. And that helps you in sensing whether it's commercially viable or not. That was a really long sentence.
I know it's hard to sum up. Laura, thank you so much for your time today. It's been awesome to chat with you. Thanks.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you very much for watching and welcome back. And this was Laura Bygrave and Sam Spivak discussing, as you desired, the adoption of no-code technologies and how to roll out innovation and finding easy use cases first and iterating on a product. So we continue with our question and we jump into the process topic. And for the process, I would offer you the following question. What is the biggest problem you face in rolling out new technologies in your organization? Is it integration with existing software? Is it the adoption within the firm or legal teams? Is it finding tangible use cases? Is it to find and drive internal adoption beyond the initial project? So find use cases after the first ones. And the next question is the communication with vendors and or customer support. Which one is the one that interests you the most? And what is your most challenging thing that you have to deal with? And I think the polls are in and there's a clear winner. It is the adoption within the firm or within the legal teams. So let's jump into the next slide, and you can again pick an area. So you can combine this with a topic. And again, you can choose, do you want to see a movie about you only click twice, or is it about finding scalability, or is it about finding technology that is better than Microsoft Word? Please pick your topic. So you can choose now. Voting is open. And let me know how you chose. So thank you very much. And the winner is in. So thank you very much. And we will start. So I welcome another pair of experts from somewhere around the world, and enjoy.
For yet another challenging mission, a no-code platform like BRYTER is the best technology. You'll love it. It's elegant and slick. But don't let that fool you. It's also very powerful. First, it's really easy to use. It is a clear focused technology, tailored exactly to your needs. It allows you to prototype something really fast, and you can manage all your decision logic and all your business rules in one coherent system. As they say, with great power comes great responsibility. And let me tell you, with this powerful no-code technology, you can change the world. So listen up. It has a powerful decisioning engine and a great logic editor. It has all the features you need for mission-critical tasks: calculations, scorings, tables, more. And you can attach any database to it and process it directly. You are the professional. You are the one with all of the expertise, and with this powerful no-code toolset, you can turn those expertise into real-life superpowers.
Here we are having a drink with great Jeremy Coleman. Jeremy, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Cheers.
What are the key challenges? I mean, what are you fixing? What are you solving?
It's a good question. Probably the biggest challenge that we're faced with at the moment is changing people's behaviors and changing the way that they actually work. Certainly, people have got used to the way that they've done their jobs, especially people who've done them for quite a long time. And it's difficult to come in and say, there's a better way of doing this. It's scary, and it's perhaps even a little daunting. But that, I would say, is the biggest challenge, is getting people to work differently.
How do you convince people?
There's a number of different tactics that we use, but probably the most effective is seeing their peers do something. And especially if you have a couple of early adopters or people who are willing to experiment and perhaps even in the beginning give up their own time to do so. When they have an opportunity to actually show their peers, the great kind of things that they've been able to do using different bits of technology, or even just thinking differently about the process. I think it's often more effective if it's one of your peers or colleagues than it is even if someone in our team comes and says, guys, it's way better to do it this way. That even in some cases could cause more resistance.
Nice. Has the no-code technology that BRYTER brings you made that easier? Has it given you something that can really change behaviors internally?
So you tell people you can kind of learn to build an app, and that sounds pretty daunting, pretty frightening, as I said earlier. But it doesn't take very long to learn how to use it in quite an advanced way. And so when we are kind of onboarding people or getting people to use it, they pick it up so quickly, and they're actually able to create some very complex workflows with it and decision trees with it. So having a kind of a lower barrier to entry means that we can get more people engaged in even just creative kind of using technology creatively. I mean, we actually see BRYTER as being accomplishing a number of different goals for our organization, one of which is actually just getting people excited about using technology. And because the barriers are so low to using it, and it requires so little training to actually get up the curve and begin to use it, whether or not the end result is that they have an app that they publish, actually it's helped to accomplish one of our even bigger goals, and that's the change of behavior, change of culture, change of attitude. And so BRYTER plays a big part in helping us to do that.
Do you have any advice that you would give to all these legal geeks about getting the most out of no-code?
Advice time. Advice time. Yeah, so I guess there's a couple of things to think about. It depends on really what you're trying to do with the outputs of if you whatever no-code application that you choose to go with. You have to kind of think about what are you using it for. And if you're using it for internal applications, then you have to think pretty carefully about how is that going to be maintained? What's the governance structure around how are you approving things? Certainly, you want as many people as possible to be using no code in an experimental way, so you don't want any barriers that sit between your potential users and experimentation. So your governance process should be focused more on the publishing side of things, making sure that people have room to experiment, room to explore, and that you have quite tight controls around what then becomes available. I suppose that is, in my view, the correct place to put the governance. But of course, you have to think about if you're publishing something externally.
Yeah.
You have a whole bunch of other stakeholders that are involved. So external publications, by that I mean obviously things that are accessible to those outside of your organization. So you have to have additional controls or additional stakeholders, part of your kind of publication committee, if that's what you want to call it. And those would be people like, you know, you'd have to have your IT security people involved. You'd have to have your brand and creative teams involved to make sure that it's on message. You have to have, I think, a really effective and well thought out strategy for how you're going to engage with your subject matter experts, because often they're the ones who are consulted kind of throughout a process of building an application, but they're kind of looked at as content providers. And because no-code applications allow you to have pretty much anyone build with them, you can actually engage them in the process of building, so that they actually understand and are the contributors to the construction of the application, in addition to just providing content.
What makes no-code a must-have part of that toolkit? If you're talking to, again, the legal geeks out here, in one sentence, why is that critical as part of your arsenal?
I mean, it really goes back to engaging as many people as possible. So, if you can engage as many of your kind of subject matter experts in the creation process, in the creativity process, in the development process, they'll be able to say, "I built an app," and that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And then you're changing hearts and minds, and that's what this is all about.
So, welcome back, everyone. And thank you very much for watching. So I hope you enjoyed our little expert talk, and I hope that we could answer your most daring questions and the biggest challenges in rolling this out. So I hope you had a pleasant afternoon, and all the best from Team BRYTER. Take care and see you soon.